Yesterday we made some acid. So we used a note length to change the incoming MIDI note length values. Then we used an operator with a saw wave, one voice with some glide. We play with the filter frequency here. We have an amp doing the distortion. So that's without, that's with it. Then we added a phaser flanger, which I'll use very, very sparingly, and then a hybrid reverb. It sounds good on both the algorithm mode and on the convolution mode, and both. And then we just compressed, sidechained it from the kick track. So I'm going to create some variations of these today and just save it into my my user library just so I can have a bit of fun with it. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to group these together into one instrument rack, and we'll just call this acid, like so. And I'm going to turn the note length. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's start from the start and start assigning some macros. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to map note length power on to macro 1. It's a bit weird to map a power onto a macro, but I do want to have that control. So we'll go this note length on. Okay, we'll go in length on. Very good, so that can turn that off and on. And then we're going to need to change the length, so we'll just call this in length. That'll do. Very good. Next, on the operator, what do we want to change here? There's quite a few things. So the first thing, excuse me, obviously is going to be the filter frequency and the resonance. Those two are quite important. Then I believe we should have the envelope. So I'm going to just assign the envelope amount because we can go into the negatives, and it means we just need to have the decay as the parameter that we can control. So if we change the envelope amount, let's bring the filter down. Let's bring the note length on and drag it out. Okay, we need to bring the filter amount up. Maybe turn this off. Bring the decay down. Now if we go on the opposite, so we need to go up and then into the opposite. Now we get an attack. Awesome. Okay, let's keep that. Let's keep rolling on. We'll go for anything else. Probably glide time. Do we want glide time? Do we want glide time? Yeah, we want glide time. So I'm going to go glide time on macro 7. We're going to need a few more of these macros. So let's go ahead and add some more. Let's go for 10 for now. We can always delete them. So on top of glide time, we have the amp. So let's go amp. Let's change the amp type. And let's leave this stuff. Let's just go for a dry wet. Very good. I'm going to double click these to bring them down. Now the phaser flanger. Let's go the amount of notches, the center frequency. We'll do a few of these. The spread. The spread. Come on. The feedback. And the dry wet. And that gives us 2 more. Is 2 enough? I don't think 2 is enough. So we're going to add 2 more macros if we can. No, we're going to have to stick with these. So we've already got 16. In that case, let's go for dry wet. We'll go dry wet for number 16, and we'll go for the blend mode for 15. That should give us all that we need. Okay, so I need to name these appropriately. Note length, okay, filter frequency, filter res, that's good. Env amount, env decay, glide time's good, amp type is good, amp dry wet, phaser notches, phaser, we'll just call this freak, phaser spread, phaser feedback, phaser dry wet, reverb blend, reverb dry and wet. Now let's go ahead and color these. Oh, that's terrible color. Go for the, oh, that's fucking awful as well. Go for this light blue. Then the filter frequencies, we'll make these red. Yes. And the envelope amount will go orange. Glide time is a weird one. Let's go black. Amp type will go for yellows for the amp. So amp. Then the phaser, let's go for shades of, I don't know, purple or blue, whatever this is. These are subject to change. And the reverb, what haven't we used? Green. We'll go this green here. Okay, that's just, that's a pretty terrible color scheme, but just give us an idea. Let's open up our variations here. Now let's start playing around with some of these. Let's stop the kick. Let's get a nice basic one. Amp type. I want the phaser off. And here's our amp amount. We'll keep that at 0. Where's our amp? Are we on rock? Yep. Okay, so let's save this variation as, I want to call them names for now. Now let's give a reverb. I'm going to make, we'll make 8. It's quite cool with 100%. Let's randomize all of these velocities. And just remember that the velocity is attached to the cutoff filter here in the MIDI area. Save that as a variation, that's good. Let's bring the reverb down and the blend up. Let's give this one a bit of envelope amount. Save that as a variation. Now let's change the amp type. Let's give this a bit of phaser. Can't really do a spread when there's one notch. Let's try 2 notches. That's cool. Very light one. Very good. Let's try amp type. Definitely want the amp dry wet on for all of them. Let's go on the negatives for the amp envelope here. And let's save that. Now let's do a note length variation. So we'll have a short one, and we'll bring the envelope amount down. Let's have no resonance on this one. A little bit. Cool. And this next one will have the max. Let's bring the note length all the way up. And the glide up. Oh. Awesome. Two more. I quite like that. Save that one. And one last one. Let's make it all nice and clean again. One last one. Yeah, nice poppy one. There we go. So these are our 8 variations. I think I made 9 by accident. Need a different clip. Whew. Very good. I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and save that into my user library, and we're done.